what's going on, Chargers? It's time for story time. So this story is going to have to be done by myself again because no one is willing to, participate with me in this activity. So I'm just going to be doing it by myself. Here we go. I want you to tell yourself, and I'll ask you this question because I need you to be participated, I guess. If you think that a 4-0 sweep in the Stanley Cup Finals is a cool thing. So you probably have your answer right now. But what if I told you that 4-0 sweep happened in 5 games? Not 4. But it was 4-0. And I know right now you're already confused, so I'm going to give you the backstory. So, this is 1988, Gretzky's Edmonton Oilers versus the Bruins. Spoiler alert, the Bruins lose. So, the Oilers are up 3-0 because they played their home game. So, win in Edmonton, win in Edmonton. They go to Boston Garden and win 1 game there. So, now we're at game 4. So, the game is kind of back and forth. The Oilers score first, and the Bruins get 3 unanswered goals. Then the Edmonton Oilers scored 2. And about halfway through the second period, but after that second goal, as soon as that second goal scored, everything in the room and the stadium, the Boston Garden, just cuts out. Broadcast's done. There's no power at all. So everyone kind of looks at each other like, are we playing? And then the referees decide to do this interesting thing that is going to be complicated first until I explain. They decide to, because of a bylaw, because a bylaw is like a thing separate from the rule book, but it's kind of like the second rule book. It really states that if there's like an act of treachery or like the devil did something that would just destroyed everything and there's no way to put it back, or even if it is, but it'll take a while, they just decide to scrap that game. And now you're probably confused because you're thinking you need that game. But what they'll do is put that game at the end of the series in case they need it. But scrap the results and just restart the game in Boston. So it kind of goes something like this. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Now we have Game 5, which will be in Edmonton. Game 6 would be in Boston. Game 7 is in Edmonton, and then Game 4 is in Boston. That's the order they're going to go in. So, in this, the Boston Bruins were like, hey, we don't like this because, we now have to play 3 out of 4 away games. Because now Edmonton would get, in the first 5 games, they had 3 home games and 1 away game. Because that math works. So, but the referees do what you officially call apologize and then make an excuse for why you did this. So they're like, look, I'm sorry it had to happen this way. We have rules. We just need to make it up as we go. I'm sorry, but it just had to happen this way, and the series should be fine. But I think it's lucky for them that it happened 3-3, so the NHL didn't have to answer more questions. Like, hey, why? Well, the Bruins were up 5-1. Why did you the power cut? Oh, it must have been an awful accident. It's not that we wanted a sweep to happen or anything. So, 3-3. Let's go to 0-0, right? That's the same. Why not start another one? So the Oilers did, of course, if you listened to me earlier, win the series in a sweep. But I'm going to go back to that 4th game that does not exist for a second. So in that game, someone on the Oilers, I forget the guy's name, but he scored in 10 seconds to go, or not 10 seconds into the game. And that's a record for the fastest Stanley Cup goal ever. And this happened in a game that didn't exist, but they somehow let him keep his record. They let everyone's stats stay the same. So it's kind of like a party favor, at a gravesite. There's everyone's sad and then one guy's like, here, have a chocolate bar. I feel bad for you. So they let this guy's record stand and it simply says record 10 seconds, game 4, suspended, not counting in the rule book. And yeah, he scored in a game that does not exist. He holds a record in a game that never happened. And I think that we can all be grateful that in the NFL, when the 49ers and the Ravens played, that the power came back on. Because if they didn't and they pulled what the NHL did 31 years ago, then I think the Ravens may have rioted and we've lost a few soldiers in that battlefield. But yeah, that's gonna do it for story time. I hope you guys did like this story, and I will see you next time. I'm out.